Hey everyone, this is Athletes in Antiquities. In this hobby, a lot of people use the phrase, the riches are in the niches, to talk about different places to look for parts of the hobby that might increase in value. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the riches being in the niches, and we're going to figure out if that's really the case. So before I start, I just want to mention that if my voice sounds weird, I'm still getting over that same cold. Sorry about that. But this video was inspired by Poke Knowledge because he says this phrase a lot, the riches are in the niches. And it got me thinking, so that's kind of what spurred this video even in the first place. So definitely check out Poke Knowledge. He has great videos, he has great lives. And so I'm going to say what I think he means by this, then I'm going to kind of give my opinions on this whole idea of looking into like the niches in a collectible, in a hobby. So what I think he's getting at and how I interpret the phrase, the riches are in the niches, are that everyone's eyes are generally on the popular stuff, like base set Charizard, alternate arts, celebrations, all this stuff. But if you get in early on something really specific that not a lot of people really know about or really care about at the time, if you get in there early, you can end up saving yourself a lot of money if a lot of attraction kind of is drawn to that, if a lot of interest is spiked over that item. If you're planning on making money, you could sell that for a profit or not. If you just want to own that item, you can get at a steep discount because you bought it when nobody cared about it. And it's an interesting concept, and there is a lot of truth to it. We've seen it time and time again in this hobby where all of a sudden everyone cares about something that you can get for pennies on the dollar just a year or so prior. The first example that comes to mind is all those like non-TCG cards from like 1997, like Card Ass and all those ones. They were all really like no one cared about them. And then once the hobby spiked, all of a sudden all this attention got drawn to it because people thought it like predated the sets and all this stuff, and they shot up in value. I know like Pokenomics, he bought a lot of these really early on, so it can be successful. But I'm going to show you some examples of some niche cards that I own. I'm going to talk about why I personally think like they could increase in value and great, but there's also a lot of risk there. So here you've got Seas Manaphy. This is from 2006. It's an ANA, an All Nippon Airways promo. All Nippon Airways is an airway in Japan that partners with Pokemon a lot for just like promotions to increase both of their brands. If you go on whatever flight, they might hand you a Pokemon card, and all of them have a little airplane on it in some way. So it's just it's an interesting thing. It's a unique art, very random release, very random promo, and because of that, no one really either knows about it or cares about it. You might have not have even seen this card or the one on the left before. So for this ANA Seas Manaphy, there's 29 total that have been graded by PSA. That's all grades. That's 10s all the way down to 1. 29 total cards, and yet I bought this card for about 30 to 40 bucks. Very cheap card because it's a niche card. It's very under the radar. And same thing with this Absol on the left. 7-Eleven fare. You can actually see in the bottom corner, it has the 7-Eleven logo. It was released in conjunction when they did some sort of a collaboration with 7-Eleven and the Pokemon Company in 2003. These very old, random promos. This one, there's only 20 in the pop report. Only 20 of these have ever been authenticated. So very niche cards, very low pop. You can still find them on eBay for like near mint for maybe 20 or 30 bucks a piece. But they're very hard to come by. There's not a lot of them out there. Yet they don't command a high price. And it all comes down to who cares. You know, and that might sound like I'm just saying that in a blunt way, but like there is some truth to it. Like Seas Manaphy is $40 in a PSA 8. Is it $40 because the hobby just doesn't know about it, and once all this attention gets on it, it might increase in value? Maybe. But it could also be $40 just because people know about it and they just don't care. It's a great art, which is why I bought it. I didn't buy it to stonk out. I'm not trying to like make this video to shill these two specific random cards. I just want to show you some very niche cards to kind of add some context to what Pokéknowledge was saying, and maybe I kind of disagree slightly with it, but I understand the overall premise. But I'm just showing you examples of cards that might be in this category. Like, these cards are by all definitions niche, and they may stay at $40 forever. People might just not care about them. Even if everyone finds out about whatever, this ANA Manaphy that they didn't know about before, people could just not care about it. And then of course on the other side of the coin, it could, if there's only 29 in the graded pop report and not a lot of other ones get graded, if a lot of attention goes to this card, it won't take long for it to be bought out. If only 29 are out there, it won't take a lot of people, because it's very low capital, it won't take a lot of people to buy that card out, and all of a sudden supply goes way down, and if demand is going up, then it's going to make prices go way up. So it's possible, but you're really risking a lot here if you like go into one of these cards like from a financial perspective, because you're really betting on the community being like behind the curve, basically, which is sometimes a dangerous thing to be in. There are a lot of arbitrage ways to make money, like PSA. You could say PSA grading. A lot of the hobby is behind the curve, which is why you can flip a modern card and double your money if you get a 10. There's a lot of stuff like that, but in general, you're kind of betting on the fact that like, oh, people don't care about it now, but they will later. And that's kind of a risky situation to be in. And because sure, if population goes up, if popularity goes up, prices could skyrocket, but there's a good chance that just nobody cares. And also in a downturn, the niches like these two cards are going to get crushed the most. If all of a sudden the hobby goes into a dark place and popularity wanes way down, people are still going to want first edition base Charizard. They're still going to want WotC Hollows. They're still going to want, they'll probably still want Gold Stars and alternate arts and maybe not Rainbow Rares, but like stuff like that. Like, there might be demand for some of that stuff, but this niche stuff could fall into obscurity. So when people say the riches are in the niches, there is some truth to that, but you could also lose a lot if it's just much more of a gamble in general. And the risk sometimes people don't really conceive, because they say, oh, there's only 10 of this card graded, so if I own 10% of the market of this card and it goes way up in popularity, I'll make out. And you could, but it also could just not happen. And that's where I think these two cards are at. I didn't show these cards to try and show them. Like I said, I'm literally just bought them because I like them. I like the art. The Absol looks sick. It's like the non-hollow version of the EX era box topper, and the ANA Manaphy, just a great art. I just love it, leaping out of the water. But like, people could just not care about this, and that's fine. Popularity can maintain at almost above zero for these two cards, and they might be cheap forever. So Pokéknowledge, if you happen to watch this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with, or if I misconstrued what your intention was by saying that. You said it in a very different context. I just thought the phrasing was very interesting, so I kind of wanted to spin it and apply it onto kind of my own thoughts on things. So as always, anybody who's watching this, let me know what you think. If you have an idea for another video you want to see, let me know in the comments. But yeah, thank you very much. See you.